it's much more than communication. It's the future of how the digital world will actually operate. So even though he introduced me as running a bunch of companies called Clear this and Clear that, we're really talking about this digital world and digital ecosystem. If you want to learn more, it's back here, but here's the reality. This is Phil Lane. He's going to leave a little message with you.
Mitakiepi, my very, very beloved relatives of our human family. We live in a corrupt global system.
But are we a part of it?
Are we part of it?
Are we part of it?
No.
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 We've been very patient as the few control resources we all need. The question is, can we change it?
We've all heard the voices shouting, "It's not your turn."
Our heart aches to do more, to be more. But time is running out.
Time is running out.
Time is running out.
We start by completely trusting we can make a difference. Because with one heart and one mind and many bodies, in unity, we can do anything.
That's the key.
Together we must take unprecedented, unified action.
And transform the world around us.
No matter how challenging that may be.
Individual sovereignty, freedom, love, and justice.
Unite us all.
Because there are indigenous-led technologies coming.
That gives us all the opportunity to stand,
To give, to love.
That's what responsible technology should do.
If you are one of those who believe it's your turn,
stand together.
Rise up.
everyone.
Everywhere.
You are the rising generation.
I know that you've taken your time to come and learn and understand how you can actually act. What I'd like you to do is to go back to October 12th, 1492, and actually see ships on a horizon and ask yourself, what would you do? How would you feel? Your whole livelihood is going to be shifted. Do you know that? Do you understand it? Can you even fathom what's coming? What do we see today? What do we see in these ships? Is it just supply chains being altered by design? It's much greater than that. Is it about a pandemic? Is it about supply chain? Or is it much bigger than that? It's bigger, isn't it? I personally believe that we have massive different secret combinations working together, whether it's big media, big pharma, big tech, and what we used to honor in big government. But the combination of all of these and over the years of design has literally enabled centralized systems to collude and work together. And what we're talking about with these different Clear companies and ultimately this digital nation and digital world is an ability for us to actually act, because every single one of you has one of these in your pocket, right? Let's see it. It's real. You live it. You're a slave to it. And you actually pay to be a slave to what's in your pocket. But what if you could actually own your own data and your own device? If you have an Apple device, you don't even own the hardware, let alone the software, or the data that you plug into it. If you decentralize just your device and it ties to decentralized storage, that you own the encryption keys, you are in control of your data. And central systems are not, and that's what we're talking about today. Are we a nation under God today? Tell me. Are we a nation under God? Or are we a world under God? We are one world. When Columbus came across that sea, They would watch where the water actually stopped and it would go up to Earth, and then we would stick a flag and we would call it a different country. We would call it a different land. But ultimately, we are here under God. All of us, one world, one people. We may have different definitions of what we call Elohim, God, Messiah, Allah. They're all different definitions, but ultimately, we're here on one earth, right? Is that earth a physical world or a digital world? Today, literally, I'm communicating with you physically in the same room, but if I take this device and I turn it on and I plug my head into this, I'm in a digital world. How do we get tracked? How do the ads and advertisements and the information literally pop up? It's in the digital world. What I would like to show you is a beautiful, non-incorporated digital world that literally is focused on sovereignty, privacy, and freedom for all man and womankind. It's not one nation. This country, the United States of America, has been compromised. The world has been compromised. We are at war, good versus evil. Are missiles flying today? No. How hard would it be? And what kind of regime would actually act in different ways if they were flying? Ask yourself that. Do you have any confidence in that? This new digital world has its own Declaration of Unity. It's back here. Please read it. September 1, it was announced. Many signed it. There's a pen. If you agree with it, sign it. You'll actually have the opportunity to cryptographically sign it here in the short-term future. The systems that are behind it is not just a phone. When you guys use a phone from Apple or from Google, you're connecting up to iCloud or Google Cloud. Do you own that data? Do you own the encryption keys to that data? What if we all shared in a digital world where we all actually were a part of that data? Where the model, where the phone and the storage came together, but the individual was in the middle of it that owned it. Clear companies have been working on this solution for well over a decade. 7 countries, 8 or 9 different acquisitions, wonderful people. And the simple difference is you basically log in with your own ID, and it's actually an ID that is not a username and a password, even though it touches into that systems. It's 4-factor authentication, something you have, a phone, something you do with your fingerprints, so something you are in a space and time. 4-factor authentication that only you can actually own and control. And when you want to log in, you log in this way, not through centralized systems, not through Facebook, not through Google. What happens if your Facebook account was gone or your Google account was gone tomorrow? What could you log into? All you have to do is take that data, take your passwords, pull them into this new system that you own, and log in. It's just that simple. When you get a phone, instead of logging into your own Google account or your Apple account, you literally just get 12 or 24 words, and that is your encryption key. Don't lose that. But you get derived keys from it that literally manage your whole world, from logins to cards to identity to health to friends to data. Very simple, super seamless. That is the biggest differentiator between any other technology that you've ever seen so far. You own your own data, and you can pass it on generation to generation. Imagine all of your different logins you basically have access to. The model is really simple. You stop using Google phones and you stop using Apple phones, and you use a phone that is yours, your own identity, that connects into decentralized storage that you have the encryption keys to. It's just this simple. I know some of you may think this doesn't, I don't get it, he's talking tech, it doesn't make sense, but it's really this simple. You just don't log into their cloud, you log into a system that all mankind and womankind shares with, benefits from, not with the central company in the middle of it. At Clear, all the different companies, we measure our success on how small we can stay, on how fast we can run, and how we can give the data to you. The data will come in different systems. Today, there are literally new types of storage devices that will be launched. They'll come in different flavors. They're simple plug-and-play devices, And it's a super simple. You launch the phone, you launch the storage, you connect them up, then you have a community that you basically manage it from. 3 phases: phone, storage, and community. Today, there's 3 different phones. They're different sizes, different cameras, different screens, different batteries. They're solid. They work well. If you've seen Freedom Phone, they're actually built on it. If you've seen Armor Phone, it's built on it. The ClearPhones have been shipping for over a year now. These are solid devices. They're almost in 150 countries today. 86 languages on the server side, 180-something languages on the device side. These are the different brands that we talked about. Who's heard of the Freedom Phone in here? Who's heard of a ClearPhone in here? Who's heard of an Armor Phone? Yeah, that's because today's the first day we actually launched it. You can go see one back there. These are devices with different brands with pre-installed software on them. The software is specific based upon what you want, but if you want to go and grab any Android app that you're already used to, you can grab it. It's built into the systems. Or it's got its own marketplace with very secure-based apps. Imagine storage that grows with you. You can secure your home, your office, and then stack storage on top of it and be a part of this cloud. The cloud is not a cloud. It's someone else's computer, and either you figure out how to leverage all of our systems together. So for instance, if I were to unlock my phone, turn on my camera, take a photo, this photo breaks into thousands of pieces and is stored in thousands of locations. If 333 of those thousands of locations were to go offline, I could still get that photo back, but that photo is not in one location. Do you understand the security that this basically opens up for the world? Whether Clear Home devices or Clear Node devices, almost 17 years we've been building multiple different apps and marketplaces. Literally 437 deployments. Hewlett-Packard Enterprise pre-installs the server software. Mass deployment, lots of maturity, tons of years, all around the world. The back end is already built, it's already deployed. And what you do is you literally get a phone, you log into it, and you use that storage. Eventually, that storage will tie, not today, but eventually, to a new type of secure platform that is basically a Facebook replacement. As a matter of fact, the Clear community, you can currently download your Facebook data, all your albums, all your photos, all your videos, download them, pull them into, you can actually import them into this ecosystem today. So imagine a social media platform that's non-censored. You can actually communicate with who you want to communicate with, and it's not profiling you. Anybody interested? ClearDot community. Simple steps and phases. Phase 1, you join. You go pay attention to what this booth back here is all about. The booth that talks about a digital world, because everything that whether it's a car we drive or a bike we drive or a laptop, a tablet, anything that we communicate with, a fridge nowadays, it's crazy. All these things are literally, if we don't log into the systems correctly, they're tracking us. So you basically, manage assets, phone, voice, data, text, chats. So the communication, you basically pick these phones up for a monthly fee, or you pay for them up front. It works with any kind of cellular connection that's GSM, worldwide. So here in the US, that's Verizon, AT&T Mobile. You can literally put 2 SIMs in at the same time, so 2 numbers can actually work. The voice, data, and text can be purchased with the phone. $100 a month, voice, data, text, as well as the phone. It's a 24-month commitment. You can cancel after 4 months if you don't like it. Super simple. But you've got to actually start understanding the options that you have, because historically, the market has not given you options. So after communications comes into applications. We actually have a replacement for Gmail. We have a replacement for Google Docs, for spreadsheets, for calendars, for contacts, for slides, for the Word documents, literally. And then you talk about finance. These phones, because they're decentralized, they also come with a financial system that is literally replacing the world today. We talk about it in a couple slides. Then there's a health element to it, which is massively important. The second phase, basically, we talk about elements. I won't go into those because we just don't have time. But today, there's 3.7 billion Android users, 1 billion Apple users. You're all in this room. Do you want an option? Is it really that hard to go and say, I want my calendar and my tasks and my contacts and my mail and my SMS messages onto a secure platform? If you actually really want to know what you can do to act, you can take accountability for your own data. It's not going to be simple for the Apple users. There's a couple steps you got to go through. For Android users, it's pretty dang simple. This is a platform that is built right here out of little old Utah with 7 other offices in 7 other countries. The goal for us is to say very, very small. We actually compete directly with big tech so you can have an option. Whether it's Apple, whether it's Google, whether it's domains, there's tons of different things. You can find more information on this at clear.co.com. When we start talking about some of the finance side of it, how many has heard about Bitcoin? Yeah? We basically compared $14 billion in transfer over a 24-hour period. And right? It's amazing it can do it, right? It cost about $2,300 US dollars to transfer that 14 billion. That's a feat. The normal fiat systems can't do that. But the problem is Bitcoin actually takes a little bit over 10 minutes to transfer, whereas Ethereum is actually faster. That's why it's got a world. Ethereum is a little bit faster, but it costs more. But the value of Ethereum is you can also wrap other what they call tokens on it. So everybody can create their own currency, if you will. But imagine a world where we leapfrog over the Visa mess that we've got, where you're actually got $336 million to transfer that 14 billion, but it's a real time. We're used to that convenience, right? What else would you give away your privacy for convenience for? We do it every day. In the apps we use, the financial systems we use. But what if I told you by using these systems, you're automatically into a world that doesn't charge for the actual transactions, and it's real time? I don't have time to show you, but if I actually showed you, I'm going to be on for an hour tomorrow with one of the genius developers. Please pay attention. 10:30 a.m., you'll see all of this work in real time. When you actually, you want to be one of the first to actually experience these transfers. Imagine a network like I just showed you all around the world, and we deploy inside of the marketplace a server-based app, and the next thing you know, 1% adoption is almost 300 times bigger than in the Bitcoin network today. The Bitcoin network is not built on storage. It's not built with the individual in the center of it. It's an amazing litmus test. It really is. I hope you understand this slide. Please join the booth or go to clear.co.com to learn more about the missions, the objectives. If you want to understand why all these Clear companies exist, they exist for this new digital world. You can actually start your own business in this new digital world. If you work for Adobe, if you work for Google, if you work for these big tech companies that are saying, you're not going to get poked, you're not going to keep a job, and oh, by the way, we're actually not even going to fire you so you can't get unemployment, please come help build businesses around this new digital world. The world needs to unite together. United, yeah. United, we can do anything, anything. I don't know about you, but when I was born, I didn't know what these things were. I didn't understand the digital world that's out there today. It wasn't there. Shame on us if we don't act as parents, as brothers, as sisters, as husbands, as fathers, as mothers. And the mothers, in my opinion, can have a massive shift in this whole world. This is how you can do it. This is for you. This is for the mothers. This is for the grandmothers. This is for the matriarchs. You can actually make a difference now. Did I mention there's a technology in this that blocks the whole internet? and allows only the good based upon where you want to go, both inbound and outbound traffic. Very important to learn about ClearGM. These are different companies that we've acquired over the years to be able to build this for you. This is built for the world, not for a country. We are a country under God. We are a nation under God. We are a people under God. We are a world under God. In the digital world, man cannot pervert things. Secret combinations cannot get in the middle. We can control our own choices and destiny. That is why we're here, right? You may have heard this over the last 48 hours. Mr. Trump launched a new business called the Digital World Acquisitions Element, right? We've been doing this for 10 years. Come learn about us. It's time. United, again, we can do anything. Much love.